Welcome to the Bay. In the world of PC gaming, a massive new title fight is brewing for 2025. In the red corner, we've got the challenger from AMD, and in the green corner, the reigning champion from NVIDIA. This is the GPU showdown for the high-end gaming crown, so let's get ready to rumble.
So, as you're planning out your next rig, you've got a huge question to answer. Where is your money best spent? Are you going to bet on Team Red's value-packed powerhouse, or do you go with Team Green's bleeding-edge titan? Well, in this explainer, we're digging deep into the data from bestgpusforgaming.com to help you figure that out.
We're breaking this down just like a championship fight. First up, we've got the tail of the tape to check out the on-paper specs. Then, we're diving into 3 rounds: raw performance, those game-changing features, and of course, the all-important value proposition. And after that final bell, we'll help you crown your personal champion.
Okay, so before the first bell rings, let's properly meet our 2 heavyweight contenders. This is where we get to see what each card is bringing to the ring before we even touch the benchmarks.
On paper, things look pretty even at first glance. Both cards are rocking a solid 16 gigs of VRAM, which is great, but when you look a little closer, the differences really start to show. The RTX 5080 is using that newer, faster GDDR7 memory, and yeah, it draws a bit more power. And then, there's the price. We're talking about a massive $400 gap between these two. That's huge.
Ding ding! All right, round 1 is all about performance. We're talking pure, raw horsepower here, just frames per second. Let's forget about the fancy features for a minute. This round is simply about which GPU can push the most pixels the fastest.
And wow, the numbers really don't lie. At 1440p, the RTX 5080 consistently pulls ahead. Just look at Cyberpunk 2077, 151 frames per second versus 129. Or check out Warzone, 205 versus 180. Now, don't get me wrong, the 9070 XT is no slouch at all, but the 5080 just clearly has more raw muscle for pushing those ultra settings.
And here is the really crucial part. When you make that jump up to 4K, that performance gap gets even wider. The RTX 5080's lead grows to a really significant 10 to 20%. For anyone out there who wants a true, no-compromise 4K experience, that extra headroom is a massive deal.
But listen, performance isn't just about raw frames anymore, right? It's about the technology that actually creates those frames. So in round 2, we're going to look at the special features and the architectures that really define these cards.
So, over on Team Red's side, the RX 9070 XT is basically the efficiency king. It's built on that new RDNA 4 architecture, and it's got FSR 4, which is AMD's really powerful upscaling tech. Plus, that lower power draw means it's going to be easier to cool and way less demanding on your power supply.
Meanwhile, the RTX 5080 is over here flexing its muscles with the Blackwell architecture and its 5th-gen Tensor cores. The big story here is definitely DLSS 4, with multi-frame generation and, of course, its best-in-class ray tracing performance. I mean, this is where NVIDIA has always dominated. And this quote from the source really says it all. If you're someone who just loves to crank up those ray-traced reflections and lighting to the absolute max, the combination of NVIDIA's dedicated hardware and its DLSS 4 software gives the RTX 5080 a totally definitive edge. It's just built for it. All right, it's time for the final and, for a lot of builders out there, the most important round: value. Which one of these cards gives you the absolute most performance for every single dollar you spend? And whoa, here comes the potential knockout punch from AMD. At an average of 0.36 frames per second for every dollar you spend, the RX 9070 XT is an absolute monster when it comes to pure value.
And when you actually see that comparison visualized, man, it is not even close. The RX 9070 XT just offers so much more bang for your buck. You're getting incredible performance without having to pay that top-tier price tag, which makes it a really powerful option for a much wider range of builders.
So, after 3 intense rounds, who takes home the belt? Well, the truth is, there's no single winner here. The right champion for your rig depends entirely on what you prioritize, what monitor you're using, and of course, your wallet. So let's break it down by the type of builder you are.
First up, if you are a 4K enthusiast who just has to max everything out with zero compromises, the RTX 5080 is your card. That 10 to 20% performance lead at native 4K, well, it makes all the difference for a super smooth, high-fidelity experience.
And if you're all about those stunning, jaw-dropping, ray-traced visuals in games like Cyberpunk or Alan Wake 2, then again, the RTX 5080 is the clear choice.
Its superior RT cores and DLSS 4 technology are just tailor-made for this stuff.
But what if you're gaming on a high refresh rate 1440p monitor and value is your absolute top priority? Then the RX 9070 XT is the hands-down champion. It delivers incredible frame rates for that resolution at a price that's it's unbeatable.
And finally, for all you builders out there who are concerned with power draw and thermals, maybe you're working in a smaller case or you just want a quieter build, the RX 9070 XT's efficiency makes it the smarter pick. It's just plain easier to keep cool.
Now, look, the GPU market moves at lightning speed, right? Prices can change in a heartbeat. For the most current pricing and a ton more detailed benchmarks, you should definitely check out the full breakdown on our source for this explainer, bestgpusforgaming.com. So now the ball's in your court. You've seen the specs, you've seen the performance, you've seen the value. Which one of these GPUs are you going to choose to dock in your next build? The performance king or the value champion?
And that's our breakdown. Let us know which one you'd pick down in the comments. Whatever you choose, keep it cool and keep building.